Okay, so I got boxes in the mail, and it's time for another unboxing. And this is Bardsung, and it comes in two big boxes. One is slightly smaller than the other, and of course we're going to start with the big one. That's just how we roll. So let's see. So Bardsung is a cooperative dungeon crawling sort of board game, which I saw on Kickstarter. And as I hang around on Kickstarter quite a bit, I figured this looked relatively amazing, so I got it. And one of the things that I truly loved was that it wasn't just the standard sort of fantasy trope things, but there was some other cool stuff in here. Here's the Lost Levels, which we'll definitely be getting into. And Fables. Okay, sure, looks very... Yeah, I'm not gonna go there. Okay, and... Oh, this is one box. I thought these were two boxes. I was wrong. Okay. That is considerably heavier than I thought. Good for it. Let's find out. Whoop. So, Legend of the Ancient Forge. Okay. That looks pretty neato. And of course the back has some of the models and stuff. Some of the really cool heroes. Let's see what we can do here. How do you open this? Oh, it opens as a mid-seam. That's a bit rare. I don't get that a lot. And of course, many of these games are fantastically packed for shipping, but not for actual storage. So once you've popped components out or painted menus or whatever, there's no way to get it back into the box. I am looking forward to seeing how this one fares, but I've had questionable experiences with that. So we pop the lid here, and inside we have this neato. It's just a divider. Oh, it's not. Okay. It's a reference sheet. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a reference sheet to room schematics, I guess. Okay, cool. I'm hoping that that's not the only copy of that. And here are tokens, rooms of various kinds. Some more rooms and tokens. Okay, so this is sort of the basic gaming board. It's not big pieces, but rather smaller ones that you put together. I prefer plastic ones to paper tokens, but these look neat. Okay, and someone's been doing their packing research. Here's some sort of dashboard with a lid on it. I guess that means you could save your character's progress by just clamping the lid in place. That's fairly neat. I like that idea. Here is a tray for tokens. So someone's actually been thinking about this. Just the very thing that I was mentioning. That this could actually be stored back into the box, possibly. Oh, wow. Okay, so. And of course, let's see. Let's open this up. Oh, it's not taped down. It's also a bit rare. Normally these are taped and you break them and stuff. And here are some of the models. Okay, so here we have some heroes. You can tell because they're yellow, right? That's how that works. Is that a torta? I think it's a torta. How's a turtle shell and stuff? That has to be some sort of dwarf thing. Here is our spellcaster. One flavor or another. And this would be a crowling. Is that Kenku in 5e? I don't know. Here we have some baddies. Pig-eared. I like the armor though. It's very neat. And here are some archery fellows. Let's put this back here for now. And they are supported by some sort of bigger friendos who have even bigger friendos. That's nice of them. It's good to have friends, you know? And then there is some sort of, I don't know, is this a captain of some persuasion? I guess we'll find out once we get into the game itself. There's also empty spaces in this tray. I guess maybe it's for tokens or something. Let's find out. Okay, next tray. Pops open, very neat. I really like the packaging design here. They've done a marvelous job. Here are what has to be some sort of earth elementals of some kind. And this is clearly not an earth elemental. It has... Oh, yeah. So, this is some sort of leash, I'm guessing. We talked about that when we were playing Curse of Strahd in Dungeons & Dragons, that's probably Xander. Xathander is his name, right? And then we have... I mean, 2 heads are better than 1. It's not spooky at all. Sure, why not? What else do we have? We have this. It's a dwarf with some axes. Probably not mean at all. This is some sort of another dwarf, I guess. This is some really cool miniatures. This is surprisingly detailed and varied for being bad guys. Normally you get sort of throwaway designs. Well, not throwaway designs, but clearly these have been worked substantially. That's nice. I like it. Okay, now here's a box that has some wings in it. Just wings. You know, that if you need some wings, then we have 2 wings. I guess these attach to something. Then we have a set of dice. Looks very D&D reminiscent. It's 2d20s and only 1d10. Okay, cool. Then there are some cards. I wonder if there are any sleeves anywhere here, but here's our sun shield, just in case. And an aquamarine, and a green herb. Anyone played Resident Evil will know, of course, how some herbs are better than other herbs. Now, that's not the end of the cards for obvious reasons. Here we have our trapdoor, and another pile with a throwing rocks, a lurking horror, cornered, a second wind, well, I know that term. Here is the butcher and some other monster cards, I would assume. And some Bardsung, I don't know what that's supposed to do, and a Reaver Captain. Looks mean. Good for him. It's important to work on your image, you know? If you don't look imposing and dangerous, no one's going to take you seriously back in the lair of the big bad evil dudes. So I'm guessing these live in a specific order in here, and that when you sleeve them they might not fit. We'll find out. Oh, here is... Okay, so these are big tiles of some kind or another. They look like a gaming board more than anything else, though. Here is the rule book. It says so right there. Legends of the Ancient Forge. This is truly needed sometimes. You just sort of wonder what miniature is what. So that's a good thing. And here we have our combat tutorial. Heroes, exploration tutorial. This looks really neat. I like the layout. It's nice, clear. Yeah, this is not the worst one I have. Oh, here is a slightly bigger book. And this would be the adventure book. Okay, so this houses, there's some rules in here, and then there's chapters with different rooms and things you're supposed to explore and go through, I'm guessing. That is kind of nice. I like that. There's a lot of them too. It's not like you're going to finish quickly. Here's the narrative part of it, and some about the different enemies that you can encounter here. This looks very, very well thought out. I like it. Okay, here's some more cards. In case we didn't have enough cards, we now have some more cards. And we get another insert. And under here we have some more of the bad guys, I'm guessing. Here's one guy. I'm hoping that's a troll. And that looks vaguely terrifying. That arrow is the size of most people's heads. And a bit more. Okay, here is... That's just a mushroom with a mushroom on top. You can tell because it looks like a mushroom. Sure, here is a slightly oversized rodent. I like giant rats, but that one was maybe a bit excessive. Maybe there should be a crate list for this, because some of these models are not going to fit back in once you start lifting them out. Some sort of flare of one description or another. This is some sort of Hulk, some sort of insect thing. These are really cool miniatures. Here is the ogre. You have to have at least one. I think that's state law. So he lives there. And here's our two-headed, I guess, Jotun or something, maybe? I don't know. Well, hello. This is a cube. You can tell by its shape. Yeah, these are really quite neat. I like that. And under here we have a thing. And, oh no. Oh, someone decided to get a ride. Right. Okay. That's probably not horrifying to encounter. And at the bottom of this pile we have this thing, which has some wing-shaped holes in the back here that I'm sure we can make use of. This looks very, very terrifying. I applaud this decision. If that is an end boss, they are definitely going to scare the bejesus out of some folk. And that's important. So that's the main box. So then we get into our Fables. And that brings us on to our Fables. Now, this looks like a generic band of heroes to me. We'll find out, I guess. So these were add-ons that I purchased through the Kickstarter campaign. And let's see. Or maybe these are stretch goals. I can't recall which box is which, but we'll find out. So, here's some Fables in a book. Again, very sort of the narrative section. Sending King, okay. Here's some more. There's a lot of adventures in here. This is a sort of shark tooth. I actually have one of those. Petrified shark teeth. Okay, so bosses and mini-bosses, wandering monsters. This is, oh yeah, so this character is one of the reasons why I opted for this game. So when you play other games, you sometimes run into the question of, but is there a model if I choose to play this character? Here is a dragonborn monk for 5e. I have never seen a model like that in any other games, so I really felt that that was a good thing. Okay, here's two tiny pieces of tape to hold this together. Nothing extraneous, really good. I really like the packaging design. They've done a really good job here. Here we have interspersed heroes and baddies. So here is, I'm guessing, I mean, that's a Warforged or mechanical golem thing. A clockwork sword. Here is the Dragonborn monk, I'm assuming. And because representation matters, I am guessing this is a centaur druid. So if I ever feel like playing a centaur druid, I know where to go. Okay, then we have a... This has to be a gnome sorcerer, maybe, of some description. It's very neato. I like it. Here's a bard. You need some of those. Loot. So this is some sort of paladin or fighter. Here's some more paladin or fightingness. And this, I'm guessing, is some sort of ranger. Then we have some bad guys. Well, that's slightly terrifying. I applaud that design decision. That is just horrifying. Look at that. Some more big broody dudes. Also very important to have. And this thing that has... Yeah, that looks very intimidating. Again, I applaud that decision. Players are supposed to be scared when they meet monsters. Here is another tray. 2 trays in this box. Okie dokie. Here's some more tape. Nothing too extraneous here. I say as I fail to get this tape away from me. But sure. Come on. A little bit. Okay, so we pop this open. And here we have a coin with a B on it. I guess it means Baccarat or something. Could be Bardsong, I'm not sure. Here's some more monsters. Those are important, including these 3 wolves. Because 1 or 2 wolves might not be enough. Some more slime. Very pretty. This is not pretty, but I applaud the decision to include it. That's very terrifying. I like that too. And that's a shark person thing. Cool. Is it a grick that they're called? I think it's a grick. Okay, and the coin, I'm guessing it's there. Then we have some more cards, including elven boots. These boots are made for elvens. A skull splitter, who's not made for elves. Lion's claw, whatever that is. And cobalt robes, which, as we all know, don't fit anyone. So I think these are stretch goals. I don't think this was a pure add-on. I could be wrong. I don't remember the entire sort of chronology of the Kickstarter. This is a basilisk, right? It has the right amount of legs. I'm guessing it's a basilisk. Very cool. And then we're going to get into the lost levels. Then we get into some lost levels. Now, they aren't very lost because I have them right here. I think this was just an add-on from the campaign itself. And I must say that the packaging design of this is really growing on me. Like, you can't put trays back in the wrong order or put the lid on backwards and stuff. It won't let you. So here we have an adventure book for the lost levels. Okay, and here are our enemies. The Colossal, the Guardian, Cogseer, Lightblade Blaster, and Assassin. Well, that's scary. Is that a mechanical dog? Oh, look at this. Very sci-fi-ish. Okay. Sure. I mean, sure. Why not? This looks amply terrifying. Look at that guy. Okay, let's get into that. So, the first box just had these little tiny tabs of adhesives. These other boxes have regular tape on them. Not a fan of the tape gets stuck everywhere, but I guess that's its job. But that guy, I liked him. That was neato. Okay, so in here we have a single tray, and it contains, well, this I'm guessing would be the blaster, and this is some sort of warrior thing. And this is all of shield. So much shield. Lots of warriors in here. Here is our assassin. Looks vaguely terrifying, very spiky. And then we have our cog seer. I mean, it looks like it has cogs. No, I like that design. That's neat. And then we have this guy, who is a bit big. And he's a bit self-conscious about it, so we're calling him Colossus. Or Colossal, just to sort of rub it in. But that's fairly intimidating for size. I like that. And then, of course, there are some cards, including Quartz and Light Blade. These are enemies, I'm guessing. Okay, cool. So that is the first box, which is called Box 2. And I was a bit surprised at that, obviously. So I think what they're doing is that they have... Box 1 is just the core game, for those who pledged for only the core game. And then this box 2 and 3. See, now I'm messing up putting these back. That's interesting. Then they will send out just box 1 for those who pledged for only the core game, and this box 2 for those who got the Fables and Lost Levels. And then there's a box 3 which has some other stuff, which we are going to get to next. Okie dokie. So there's a third box. It says so right there, pack 3, and that is for my all-in pledge. So this has some more sort of gaming stuff in it. I can't quite remember what was in which box here. It's been a while here. So we'll just pull all this stuff out and sort it. It's a black box. Another black box, a black box, a black box, and some not so black. Okay, cool. So we're going to start with this. Here's some dice. So it's a second dice set. That is cool. Then we have a box that says Hobgoblins on it. I wonder what is in it. Could be a dragon. But then again, you can never be too careful. So we're going to find out. That open, and would you look at that, it's actually Hobgoblins. So these are in the main game. They were in the main game. All of these models were represented in the main box, but now you have reinforcements for them in case they get lonely. There are no extra cards in this box. It's just models so that you can beef up the opposition. That's not a bad idea. I like that. This says 3D doors. Again, could be a dragon, but I am going to venture guess that it is not. Let's see. So, 3D doors, you say? They are. These are actually 3D doors. That is neat. Let's pop this open. Get out of this tape thing. There we go. So, these are just fantastic looking plastic doors. They have, ooh, that's a really good articulation on. So the door itself looks very neat. I applaud this. But the action on it is very stiff, which is lovely. So you can actually leave it ajar. Open one. They will stay open. They won't slam shut. This was surprisingly good. I have a few different 3D doors. I've always enjoyed Massive Darkness doors because they have a little tab on them that allows them to stay open. But these have just made it mechanically. Then we get to the upper levels. Okay, Greatest Tales. Okay, let's find out. What is in here? I wonder how long this is going to take to paint. I'm guessing it's the rest of my life just devoted to painting all of these games that I've unpacked. If you haven't seen it, I just did a 50-minute long unboxing of Massive Darkness. So there's even more. Okay, so here's some more terrain. I applaud this. Let's see what's here. So this is This is a door portal, wall maybe. Has no articulation. This is a portcullis of one description or another. This is a broken column with some vines on it. Here's, you know, in case you need one, here's a lever. You can just pull it, see what happens. It actually has a tiny bit of articulation. Can't actually flip it, but you can, yeah, that's weird. Here's a fire. I'm happy that lacks articulation. Here's a bunch of luggage. Here's just one luggage. And these are some stairs. So there's this stair. We could call it Fred. And here is another stair, which is more of a spirally thing. And finally, there's this. Looks like a ventilation grate of some kind. Okay, so that was a terrain set. Very lovely models. Kudos to everyone who designed on this game. They've done a fantastic job. Not just the packaging design, but the model design is also great. I think this is going to be cool. Now, we're getting into our distant depths. Not just the close ones, but these are the distance ones. No sleeves for any of the cards. I got a honkin' big box of sleeves for Massive Darkness, I remember. But I guess that's just something you can get. Okay, so here's another one tray. And it seems to have more terrain in it. Let's pop the tape off this so we can open it. There we go. So, distant depths user. So, here is another lever. Looking kind of neat. And, well, yeah, what can you say? Then we have, well, that's just a stump with some mushrooms on it, I guess. As opposed to this, which is very spiky. Very, very spiky. This is signpost, maybe? Could be a pillar. Here's a wall. There are actually 4 of these. Bricks and vines. Okay. Here is a hole in the ground. I'm guessing it's a hole in the ground. And here is yet another door. No articulation. And here are not 1, but 2 different forges. So you could, I guess, steal away some hours making cool gear. And then we have these things. These are just piles of bones and puddles of one description or another. Sure. Let's not fall in any of them, but they look very neat. Okay, cool. So, that brings us to our last item, which is this neoprene mat of some kind. So this looks a lot like the design that was on those boards. So I'm guessing this replaces those boards with an actual play surface. It's not super non-slippery on either side. Here's our... Okay. Yeah, so I don't know how to play this game, so all of this is a bit of a mystery to me, but I'm a bit surprised that it doesn't have a non-slippery side and a slippery side, but cool. This is probably going to aid a lot in the comfort of actually playing, and quality of life is very important. So, that concludes our unboxing of Bardsung. The quality of packaging is fantastic. The model design, fantastic. The graphic design on the rulebook looks really, really nice. Even if the game is nigh unplayable, which I doubt, I think I'll enjoy the resources given to me in this game. And I might post a review at some point once I've got it up and painted in about 3 or 4 years. And thank you for watching. And I might make more of these if I feel like it. Take care and bye-bye.